You pull into the driveway, turn off the car, and just sit there. Checked out again. There are 3 habits keeping high achievers like you stuck in this daily cycle of collapse. You pushed through the day on reserves and coffee, meetings, clients, emails, but now it's time for the second shift. Dinner, family, chores, extracurriculars, and you just can't. But you power through. This driveway moment is a red flag. By the end of this video, you'll clearly see how neglecting the 3 operational supports is leaving you overextended, under-recovered, and operating below your standard. And the 3rd support is often the hardest for women to accept. Number 1, prioritization. You are not overwhelmed because you have big goals. You are overwhelmed because too many things are being treated like tier 1 priorities. You start the day with 17 things on your to-do list, all considered equally important. Time you meant for something meaningful is eaten away, and by 5 p.m., you haven't moved the needle. It all matters. Health, marriage, kids, career, rest, house, friendships, side goals, and personal growth. And 1,000 things within each one of those categories. Your priorities are vague categories at best, and you try to do everything to perfection in every area without clarity on what does move the needle. You are constantly almost getting to what matters. Almost planning meals, almost going to bed earlier, almost taking the walk. You are not failing because you can't handle big things. You just aren't distinguishing between what is essential, what is optional, and what is simply noise. You don't need to do more or do it all perfectly. You need concrete priorities, and you need clarity on what has the biggest impact on each of them. Number 2, margin or calendar white space. White space is not laziness. It's margin that keeps high performers from redlining and burning out. Your calendar is booked back to back, but even the gaps are fake. A 30-minute opening becomes time to return calls, schedule appointments, answer texts, or run one more errand. At no point in the day can your nervous system actually come down. You leave work with just enough time to make it to the next obligation, which means you live in a constant state of being almost late, just rushed enough to stay activated all day. You schedule yourself as if nothing will run over. No one will need you unexpectedly. Traffic will cooperate, technology will work, and your body will never hit a wall. You use your lunch break to multitask, your commute to catch up, and the few quiet minutes before bed to take care of just one more thing. You use up your weekend to compensate for everything that just did not fit during the week. There is no true blank space anywhere. You're not tired because you're busy, you're tired because your life has no breathing room, no transition space, no recovery space, no room for being human. You don't need a smaller, slower, quiet life, you just need more intentional structure. Number 3, leverage. This is where so many women in particular get stuck. Leverage here includes 5 things: delegation, simplification, elimination, automation, and support. A lot of capable women aren't overloaded because they're too ambitious. They are overloaded because they're still personally carrying too much that should have been simplified, delegated, or cut. You are answering emails that could have been templated, doing admin you could have outsourced, managing details that someone else could handle, and still telling yourself it's just faster if I do it myself. You might delegate a task, but then still monitor it and rewrite and recheck and mentally carry it anyway. So you haven't really delegated the work, you've just added oversight to your plate. You are the default for everything. The calendar, the meals, the forms, the follow-up, the remembering, the planning, the emotional labor, the logistics. Nobody explicitly assigned it to you, it just accumulated. Maybe you refuse to hand off anything client-facing or household-related or operational because you don't trust other people to maintain your standard. So your standard becomes one more reason that you're overloaded. Delegation is not lowering your standard. It is recognizing that your energy is too valuable to spend everywhere. You don't need to do everything yourself. You need clarity on where you are most valuable and where to let go. Where does this leave you? You haven't prioritized, so everything feels urgent. You've left no margin, no white space, so everything is rushed. You haven't delegated, so too much still depends on you. So by the end of the day, the important work is still unfinished. The small tasks have eaten the day. Your body is fried, and your mind is still carrying 10 open loops, and the next shift of responsibilities waits at the door. That is why you sit in the car. Not because you're weak, but because your life is structured in a way that requires too much output with too little margin and too much personal ownership. This is exactly the work I do. We identify the hidden bottlenecks in your health, habits, routines, and capacity. Then we install the few highest ROI changes that restore energy, clarity, and consistency in real life. If you are tired of carrying this much responsibility while feeling like your body, schedule, and systems are working against you, and you are ready for a smarter and more strategic way to operate, apply to join the High ROI Reset or book a call with me below. Let's look at what's actually draining you, what needs to change, and whether this program is right for you.